This is for the Jive Young Kings. What killed Prince likely also killed Pittsburgh folk hero Danny Montano less than a month after he was acquitted on 39 counts of vandalism. He wrote Asia, Brown Eyes, Space Boy, and MF1. MF as in Mad Fresh, Moonlight Fiend, and Motherfucker. And that halo that forms around the moon before bad weather comes, he called the circle of protection. He was invisible to cops when he wrote in that light. They could only see he'd been there once he'd gone. The artists interviewed in Style Wars were wrong. Some writers don't just want space to write. They want everything. Some women live off money left to them by a dead white rapist and don't have to work. These women can write dissertations in the world's least affordable cities and pay other women to cook their food and clean their apartments and still not see how what their grandfathers did and left them affects their status as women, or they see and don't care. No one is born this way. Patriarchy is all about making sure the right grandchildren inherit the right things. I'm not going to let them have feminism, which isn't just beefing with wealthy men and taking their money. Selena and her music exist in a world of states and borders where people relate to law enforcement officers in ways the music they listen to might reflect but doesn't determine. That's why when radio stations in Mexico and Central America introduced migra corridos to their listeners, the US Border Patrol kept its name out of it. Listeners would have wanted nothing to do with the songs if they knew of the agency's involvement. They'd feel as if La Migra was coming after them in their own country, because it is. This one's called How to Deal with Surveillance Cameras. Someone with purple hair and pronouns I don't know climbs up and shimmies across a pole somewhere in Chile, arms and legs wrapped around it to reach a camera, to destroy a camera surrounded by thousands of workers, students, people who use the subway. Everyone claps and the person shimmies back along the pole a bit and legs first, then arms, let's go. And it works out, ends up being the best trust fall ever. It's only when the person is in the arms of the crowd and they see that they can keep someone from hitting the ground that everyone cheers. And it's always this way. With revolutionary love, there's always so much of it you can't contain. And all these people ready to catch all these people they don't know can't contain it. Not wanting to be caught trying to contain it. There are more things more beautiful that start here with this. Last poem. This one's titled, When You Hear People Say Burn Down the American Plantation, and it's for the revolutionary abolitionist movement. Look at it this way. Sometimes you have to burn things down to rebuild. This is where the quick trip that belonged to the man who called the cops on Mike Brown used to be. The precinct that deployed the cops who murdered George Floyd used to be here. And over here, there used to be a Target. And over here, there used to be a CVS. And over here, there was a corner store that sold cans of soda for $1 a pop and white t-shirts for $10 each. A building where slave traders sold slaves during the Civil War once stood here. That used to be the deli where Latasha Harlins was murdered by Sun Yat-sen. That used to be a Mercedes-Benz dealership. The Wendy's where Rayshard Brooks was murdered by cops used to be here. This used to be the center of the world's automotive industry. And when the marches turned into riots, the cop cars were parked here, 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 here.